What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Skeleton Closet, where we talk celebrity news and hot topics. And today, y'all already know what we're talking about. We're talking about Sharon Osbourne telling lies. We're talking about Sharon Osbourne not going down without a fight. Let's get into the video.
I'm gonna just run down my shout outs.
Now, y'all already know this has been going on for a long time. And I really don't even see this ending anytime soon, considering how Sharon Osbourne is not going down without a fight, but also the talk just extended their hiatus again. So I'm going to break down all the details for you guys so that we can all get caught up about what's going on with the talk, Sharon Osbourne, and Elaine Welteroth issuing a formal complaint. All right, so Sharon Karen is being accused of spreading misinformation about what happened on the talk. They're saying that she's doing this as a way to save face because, you know, as a celebrity, your face card is all you got. If you mess up and your reputation is tarnished, you could be blackballed. You could never work again. And what are you gonna do? You're a celebrity, you can't just go to McDonald's and flip burgers. You can't just go to Best Buy and sell computers. Your life is ruined. So Sharon Osbourne and her publicist and PR team are working overtime to make sure that her reputation and her legacy is not destroyed after this controversy. Now, after the controversy and everything blew up and all the allegations went on, you all know that Sharon Osbourne did an interview with Kevin Frazier on ET. That interview I didn't really like because I felt like he did not ask the real questions, okay? I feel like it was a very softball interview and he kind of coddled her a little bit, okay? He didn't hold her feet to the fire at all. He didn't try and get down to the bottom of the situation and he didn't ask any real questions. Honestly, all that interview was for, in my opinion, was to try and make her look a little bit better. And he aided her in that. But in that interview, Sharon Osbourne did say that she wants to have another conversation about race so that it could help people. And she added that her co-host, Elaine Welteroth, especially wants to make this happen. She says, Elaine very much wants to make this better and to have a conversation come out of this that will help other people and probably people of my age too. But people on the inside at CBS are saying that Sharon Osbourne is manipulating the situation. And that I can 100% agree with, or I could see to be true. Because when you are in the hot seat, and again, as a celebrity, your reputation and your face card is everything. So if Sharon Osbourne is thrown out to the wolves because of this, CBS is going to wash their hands of her. And just like CBS, a lot of different networks are going to wash their hands of her as well. That means no roles in a TV show, no roles in a movie, and definitely not on a talk show. So her days of working in Hollywood potentially could be over. So it's in her best interest to control the narrative and manipulate the situation as best as she can. Now, this insider said Sharon is basically running around using her co-host as footstools to help spread misinformation from her deeply offensive actions. The actions of her disrespecting Sheryl Underwood on the talk, but also whatever she said when they went on commercial break had to be pretty bad. That same insider went on to say she's been throwing her co-host under the bus all week. That ET interview was a complete lie, said another. If she returns, Sheryl Underwood can work with her and deliver good TV, because she's a good worker and she's going to do what needs to be done. And she, as a black woman, definitely does not want to be perceived as the problem, so she's gonna do what she has to do. But I doubt their 11-year-old friendship would be the same. And that I can see as well, because how can you just move forward after they've completely disrespected you on live television? But not only that, the insider says that Sharon Osbourne was not supposed to be doing any interviews after this incident because the investigation was still underway. So basically, Sharon Osbourne is not following the rules and she's completely throwing her co-host under the bus. She probably feels like this is her only option. She has nothing else to lose because pretty much everything is about to get stripped away from her. So she's trying to hold on to her reputation and save face as much as she can. Now, as a way to promote this interview that ET did, they posted a story using one of Elaine Welteroth's Instagram posts that was a Bible verse talking about prayer and self-care practice. Now, E.T. posted a story online using those same quotes as a message of forgiveness amid the controversy that had happened between the ladies of the talk. It had rehashed Osbourne's quotes about Welteroth being eager to have another on-air discussion about race. Now, these quotes that Elaine posted on her Instagram was completely misinterpreted by E.T. and whoever wrote that story. And Elaine was not having it. She wrote on E.T.'s Instagram and said, "Where is your journalistic integrity? Please do not try to manipulate me and the scripture I posted to paint a false narrative by running it alongside an unverified quote from someone in crisis who named me without my permission." She goes on to say, "Black women are not pawns to be used without consent to protect perpetrators of harm, and neither is the word of God. How dare you weaponize my self-care practice to push your agenda? This is getting dark. Please stop." Now, E.T. later took down the story, but in my opinion, the damage had already been done. They had already misquoted or misinterpreted Elaine's post. I guess Sharon Osbourne might have some friends over there. I don't really know, but I don't think that was a good move, especially considering how the interview went and how people felt after watching that interview. It's pretty clear that Elaine is fed up with all this mess that's going on, because as I was doing my research, it looks like Elaine is the one that complained to HR about racial insensitivity and toxicity at the show. Now, in this story, it doesn't say specifically what Elaine felt was racially insensitive or what she felt was toxic at the show. But I'm pretty sure that it stemmed from that blow up on the show and how Sharon Osbourne wasn't sensitive to Shura Underwood and her own questions about the incident. But as well, we already know that Sharon Osbourne has a history of being insensitive to her co-host, allegedly, because of the things that she has allegedly said about Julie Chen and Sarah Gilbert. These are things that happened in the past. If Elaine has made this complaint to HR, I'm sure that that instance on the show that day was not the only instance for her to make this official complaint to HR about racial insensitivity and toxicity at the show. Now, the talk was initially set to return this Tuesday, which is the 22nd, but it looks like they extended their hiatus for the rest of the week. Now, a spokesperson for the network said everyone is in limbo and wants this to be over. There's still no clear understanding of what the outcome is going to be. They have to thoroughly look into all this stuff. There's a lot of new leadership, and they don't want to repeat the days of Les Moonves where things were often ignored and let go. They're looking into all of the allegations. Now, if you all don't remember, Les Moonves is the husband of Julie Chen, who was the former co-host of The Talk. It's said that Les Moonves swept some stuff under the rug, and he had some skeletons in his closet as well. So I'm pretty sure that they continuously extend this hiatus because of one thing. And that's, like I said before, they don't know how to address the Sharon Osbourne issue. They don't know how to fix this Sharon Osbourne problem. They don't know how to get rid of the Sharon Karen Osbourne problem. They are going to try and figure out how to get Sharon Osbourne to walk away from this quietly. And what it seems like to me is that Sharon Osbourne is not going down without a fight, because this hiatus is continuing. We already know these allegations have seemed to be very damaging to Sharon Osbourne. It has put a whole show on pause. And this is 2021. No network or television show is going to hire someone that has allegations of racist behaviors in their past. It's 2021. People just aren't going to do it because that is a PR nightmare, and they don't want to have to fight that issue for the continuous of their show or during the rollout of their movie. A source has been telling a couple different publications that Sharon Osbourne is prepared to be fired, but she's not going to walk away from this without a huge payout. And that's what they're doing right now. I can guarantee you that the executives at CBS and The Talk are sitting down with the lawyers and Sharon Osbourne's lawyers and trying to figure out where the middle ground is. They'll probably be talking about NDAs because they don't want her to walk away from this and just write a tell-all book exposing the talk or coming up with lies and saying that they wrongfully terminated her. So the network is going to have to pay her a very, very, very large sum of money to make all of this go away. But honestly, if the showrunners and the producers did not prep Sharon Osbourne like she says that they didn't, I can see that some showrunners possibly will get fired as well, because that is negligent on their part. If they failed to let her know that they were going to be talking about that topic, if she was ill prepared for that topic, or she did not see that coming, that can be a problem for them. And they will have to take the fall for that. Whether or not they get fired, I don't know. Possibly, and that's definitely a learning lesson that they will have to learn. I've seen a couple of different stories. Sharon Osbourne has been saying one thing, the other co-hosts have been saying other things. In this story, it says both co-hosts Elaine and Cheryl Underwood were made aware 30 to 35 minutes before going on air that there was an executive decision to make it a longer conversation, and they, the co-hosts, were told Sharon knew. But as you remember from the ET interview, Sharon Osbourne said in interviews that she felt ambushed and was unaware that the topic would be a full segment. Now, whether or not you knew that it was going to be a full segment doesn't really matter. If they told her that they were going to talk about it, that's her fault that she was ill prepared. That's her fault that she didn't have her answers in order. That's her fault that she didn't have her story together. Now, there is a difference between being blindsided and not being prepared. If they told you that they were going to talk about it, that's not being blindsided because you knew it was coming up. If they told you and you just failed to prepare for it and you just felt like you were going to wing it, that also is your fault. Now again, all of this has been a mess because after that incident, Elaine Welteroth and her hairstylist complained to HR over Sharon Osbourne's recent exchange with Cheryl Underwood. They said they don't feel comfortable working in a racially insensitive and hostile environment. CBS sent a memo to all hosts, crew, and other staff asking for anyone with complaints to come forward or report their concerns to an anonymous tip line. Then a bombshell report emerged that, according to former The Talk co-host Leah Remini, Osbourne had referred to former host Julie Chen, who is Chinese American, as wonton and slanty eyes, and to former co-host Sarah Gilbert, who is a lesbian, as a pea licker during their time together on The Talk. So it's pretty clear that Sharon Osbourne is not going down without a fight. She is letting it be known that y'all are not about to railroad me, and y'all are gonna have to pay me. I'll leave this show, but y'all are gonna have to pay me. And it's gotten even worse for Sharon Osbourne because it's also being reported that she had to hire security because she's been getting death threats because of all of this mess and controversy and beef and drama that's been going on. That Sharon had to significantly increase her security. She has done everything necessary so she and her family feel safe. Now it is 2021 and we all know that there is a huge racial divide in the United States. Black and brown people are being killed. Just this past weekend, Asian Americans were killed in Atlanta. There were many protests over police brutality and racial injustice in the United States. This is something that CBS is not going to be able to walk away from without addressing it properly. People are very upset. Tensions are high. Sharon Osbourne is getting death threats. I don't wish death on anyone, but I just wish everyone would just take a little bit more caution when speaking about things and not speaking from a place so that you can respond, but speaking from a place that you can understand and listen. Because I remember when I first did the very first video about this incident, I said that if Sharon Osbourne had just sat there and minded her business and not said anything, she would not be in this predicament and we would not be having this issue. There would not be a hiatus of The Talk. She would not be getting death threats and she would not potentially be getting fired from this talk show. So as you can see, all of this drama has spiraled into something that we would have never been able to guess. But again, Sharon Osbourne put all of this on her plate. I just hope that she can eat all of it and she has a big appetite. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I definitely want your input. Let me know what you think, whether or not Sharon Osbourne is going to be fired. Will they replace her, or will they just continue on with the ladies that are there? Do you think Sharon Osbourne was in the right for trying to defend herself? What do you think Elaine and Cheryl Underwood have been talking about? And if you think Sharon Osbourne is innocent in all this and everybody is lying, why hasn't anyone come forward to defend her? Why hasn't any of the other co-hosts said anything in defense of Sharon Osbourne? Thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button so that I can know how you felt about today's video, but as well so that it can get pushed through in the algorithm a little bit. I definitely appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can join us in the closet and be a part of the family. And again, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.